Hey guys, this is Tolhi and welcome to Let's Play EscapeCraft 3, part 1.5 I guess is what we'll call this. So I ran through in part 1 a fair chunk of these puzzles. I'm breaking this because it says you may break invisible blocks. I ran through a fair chunk of this. Hall of Fame, the morgue. Some names. Thanks to all our donors. Oh, this must be everyone who donated or helped, I guess. Testers, maybe. Right. So, getting right to it. So, I ran through this whole first part without the texture pack on. So, I'm just going back through now and doing all these puzzles with the texture pack. But I've already figured them out, so this should run through pretty quick. And so, there's not much to talk about in the way of the puzzles. Well, there is and there isn't, but one thing I thought might be interesting, ooh, it's kind of creepy how he's just sort of watching me. One thing I thought might be interesting is, to talk about something you guys have been talking a lot about lately, which is that not the ones I hit last time? I think I also hit this one here. That gonna make the difference? No? There we go. Right, so one thing you guys have been mentioning a lot, especially in some of these levels here, is my reading skills. So I know normally I don't talk about me like personally, and that's not because I don't want to talk about me. That's more that I don't really feel like that you guys want to hear about it. Maybe, I guess, is more of the issue. Oh, more invisible blocks. Yeah, I guess that's more of what it is I don't think you guys want to hear about it, so I just never bring it up. But a lot of people have been talking about my reading, so I thought I'd talk about it for a little bit. Ooh, piece of ham. Is that what I'm supposed to do here? No. I could put I could put the ham on the pressure plate here. That should keep the door open. Come on down, piggies. And cows? Didn't see any cows last time I did this. Come on. Come on down now. Here we go. Slowly they're going. So yeah, I'm gonna walk back and forth. So yeah, I don't talk about me that often. I guess mostly because I figures, well, a lot of the games I play don't really leave time. I'm often talking about the game and commentating on it, but I don't often talk about me, and I don't. It's not, like I said, it's not that I don't want to. It's just it never really comes up. But seeing as everyone's commenting on my bad English, quote unquote, I thought I might talk a little bit about that. So I guess where does that stem from? Like my thoughts on it is like I only found this out within the past couple months to a year, is that I have a lazy eye, and so that's not like I know. So you're gonna help me summon more guys, pig? That's a good pig. Actually I should probably have enough now. That's it. Into the rink, cow. Actually, opening those invisible blocks may have actually caused more problems. Because now they could jump down there. But whatever. We'll see if we can still pull this off. In you go, pig. Oh, it opened. Oh, that was probably him opening that thing. Oh, it opened. Right, so my reading. The reason for my thoughts on the reading is the lazy eye, because see, what happened is I wasn't diagnosed as a child with a lazy eye. Really? I'm messing up like that? There we go. And so, okay, yeah, I read those signs before. So what happens is if you have a lazy eye, basically what that means is that you have a slight turn in the back of your eyeball where the nerve meets up with the brainstem or something like that. Is how I understood it. I could be wrong on that, but what it means is that, oh, I wasn't supposed to take that off, so I just barely made that because I pulled the reel back in. And I guess quickly I'll mention that you're supposed to move the cart all the way around here, I guess, but I just figured out that if you stand over here and hit the rod the right way, you can actually slide it down onto the pressure plate, and then you don't have to do this puzzle at all. And I'm going to do that again because I don't want this video to take half an hour. See, this is what I mean by it's not that I don't want to talk about my personal me, I guess, but it's that it... Wow, how did I do that last time? It's just that I often get distracted. Oh, wow. I did it like 2 times in a row last time. There we go. Right, and so... Yeah, but the whole lazy eye thing. So when it's not diagnosed as a child, though, it's kind of hard to get cured because as you grow up, your brain sort of gets used to it. But what it basically boils down to is that because my eye was because I have a lazy eye and it was never treated, my brain chose to use my right eye is the lazy one, so my brain chose to use the left one primarily. So basically what happens is because there's this turn in the back of the eye that's very slight. Like if you looked at me, I'd look like anyone else, and that's part of the problem, is that normally when children have lazy eyes, it's a fairly severe turn, so the eye kind of turn the sort of the pupil of the eye turns in towards the nose, so it's very easy to tell. But mine was so slight that it was never diagnosed, and normally they just put an eye patch on the good eye, and then the bad eye has to get better and the brain has to use it more. But if it's not diagnosed, from what was explained to me, it basically the brain learns to use the better eye, the non-lazy eye, more dominant. And what that boils down to is basically my brain chose to use my left eye a lot more than my right, which has a couple implications. Primarily, I can't see 3D, like all the 3D movies, 3DS. I won't be able to use any of that because I can't see 3D, because I primarily only see sort of one image. Like my left eye sees almost all... Shoot, I wasn't supposed to hit that switch. I was supposed to hit the plank over here. I'm primarily supposed to see... I primarily see only out of my left. Now, that's not to say I don't see depth or anything. Like, I still see out of my right eye. It's just not as strong as my left. And because they're not equal, 3D doesn't work for me. Is how it boils down to. Right. So then... What's back here? Guess I gotta break the invisible blocks to get down. So yeah, it doesn't work for me. So that's one thing. But the other thing is, as a child trying to read books and things, the text would be very difficult on my eye, because what happens is where my brain primarily only uses the left eye and the right eye doesn't get used. Oh, we're here. I end up not using that. Not using my right eye, and because I only use my left, it causes a lot more strain on my left eye. So when I would try and read as a child, I would find that my eyes would water a lot, and it would become like really painful. My left eye would just get really sore. Well, both my eyes, because my right would sort of try and do work but couldn't because it just wasn't capable, and so the left eye would have to do everything and get really worse. And so because of that, I didn't want to read. Like, reading was just a really painful chore for me, and and that being said, it's not like it was something I told people. It wasn't like, oh my god, my eye. It was just sort of something I kind of had myself, and I didn't really tell anyone. And so because of that, it was never really, that's part of the reason it was never diagnosed, I guess, is I wouldn't tell anyone how like my eye would water up so much. And so yeah, it was just really painful. So as a child, I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to be in pain, so I didn't read, and I tried to avoid reading at all cost. So when it came to English classes, I hadn't read much as a child, so I didn't really, I wasn't good with like words and grammar, because I really do believe that the more you read, the better you are at English. I have a friend who used to read all the time. Like, he read so many books, and he was amazing at English. So I really do believe that there's a strong correlation about how much you read and how good you are with English, because the more you read, the more words you'll see, the more grammar you'll understand. It just makes sense. This is how you're supposed to do this puzzle, by the way. I kind of messed it up last time. Someone sent me a link and sort of with a video saying, oh, this is how you do it. So I was like, oh, oops. Right, and so, yeah, I never really learned how to read. I never read that much, so I didn't do so great in English classes, is my theory. So because of that, reading aloud is very difficult for me. Now, that being said, I'm not stupid in any way, shape, or form. I would like to think I'm a fairly intelligent human being. Very good with math and sciences. Like, I was always high 80s, 90s with math and sciences, but sadly low 60s with Englishes in high school. So that was a real shame. But, and like, I don't know, it's just, I'm not, oh, where am I supposed to, back here? And then I guess I put it there, yeah. So I never, yeah, it never bothered me too much, though, because I did so well in the other courses, but English was always my downfall. Well, except for drama. I was always good with speaking aloud in public speaking, and theater. But that's a story for another time. So I don't, yeah. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm more so trying to let you, like a lot of you guys say, oh, you're really bad at reading. I'm just sort of trying to give an explanation on, oh, well, the reason is because of this. And if you care or not, that's sort of up to you. But I'm more so just filling time. I don't know. This is what I don't like about talking about myself, is the simple fact that I tend to rant a little too much, in my opinion. What was the puzzle here? I think then this switch, maybe? No, not this switch. These two. And so, like, this whole video, I sort of had one topic, and even that took, like, forever to talk about. Right, and so, yeah, it's... Where am I? I think it's right. Yeah. It should go up there and then turn around and go back down there. It's just a play with the switches until you figure it out puzzle, in my opinion. And, oh, that wasn't right. I had to switch this one, I think. Yeah. Now it should go around and do what it's supposed to. And this is where I left off. Oh yeah, and look, he's looking at me. Where I left off last time. But yeah, so that's sort of the reason. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about was, and see, that took like, what was that, like 15 minutes to go through this whole thing again? It took me half an hour when I didn't know the puzzles, And then like that whole time I was sort of talking about my eye and reading and such, and like that's why I don't really like talking about me personally, is I'm not very good at short stories. Most of the time it turns into these long rants. And so, but reading aloud, it mostly stems from the fact that I didn't read books. Like I can probably list off the amount of books I've read in my life on like two hands. Like it just, I haven't read much, so reading aloud is rather difficult for me, but I'm working on that. Like I recently hooked up my Wii again, and I'm sort of playing through Paper Mario because I never actually beat that game. I rented it one weekend and got pretty far, but never beat it. So I played through like an hour or two, and I'm reading aloud as I play it so I can sort of practice, so that you guys can have a better experience of me watching videos instead of me stumbling over words as I read them aloud. So I'm practicing and trying to get better at reading aloud. But that's the reason at why I'm so bad at reading aloud, is because I just never read as a kid, and I kind of don't read now. So trying to read aloud on playing Paper Mario is pretty good and fun, because I give the Goombas Irish accents. Anyways, but yeah, so that's a little bit of insight into me. I don't think I seen these signs last time. There's really nothing over in this corridor. Do something. Don't you have something better to do? No, not really. So I'll probably continue from this save file next time in part 2. But yeah, this was a little bit of me. I don't know. Would you guys like to hear more about me? Like throw in short stories as I play from now on? Or like do you not want to hear me talk about me and just want to watch me play the games? Because I don't really think I'm that interesting. The games I think are more interesting than me. But yeah, because I think I could try and make it short, but this particular story was sort of long-winded and sort of like a giant explanation on, you know, sort of mechanics of why I am the way I am when it comes to English. And it's not really like, I feel like people are gonna have opinions on me whether about like have opinions on me about like English one way or another. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, you know, don't say I'm not bad, and I'm not good at English. I'm not trying to say I'm not, and I'm not even trying to really make that like an excuse about it. I'm more so just saying, you know, hey, if you're interested, this is why. But I should end this because this is gonna get long, and I'm just sort of pacing around this room talking now. But yeah, I kind of nervous on how you guys are gonna take this, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so this is totally signing out. Later, guys.